Welcome to the Quiet Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Oden. And here we nurture, inspire, equip, ignite, and empower introvert leaders and business owners just like you who are making waves quietly and with impact. And in this episode, I am thrilled to have another Spotlight Achiever guest conversation. I am looking forward to what your takeaways will be from our guest as she shares some insights and some things that have helped her to navigate some of the challenges in life. I know that you'll be able to glean some little tips and some simple strategies that will be impactful to you along your journey. So let's jump in, shall we? Welcome to the Quiet Impact Podcast, where we nurture the journey of introverts who desire to achieve greater levels of influence, income, and impact. The go-to podcast for introvert achievers just like you, seeking purpose-driven growth. I am your host, Stephanie Oden. Have you ever desired to have a mentor whisper success secrets into your ear? One with firsthand experience as a six-figure corporate leader, expertise in entrepreneurship, and is an introvert? Tune into each episode where we will provide valuable insights into how introverts can effectively navigate life with full-time jobs, pursue career success, and delve into entrepreneurship. We will explore various business and career topics related to self-discovery, achieving success, and finding joy in the journey. My guest and I share real-life experiences, strategies, tools, and resources that will encourage personal and professional growth, self-empowerment, and living an authentic, purposeful life. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to another episode of the Quiet Impact Podcast, and I am thrilled and delighted to have with me my guest today, Selina Kelley. You can go ahead and say
Yay.
hi. And
Thank you for having
yes, this is going to be such a great episode. But first, we're not shy, we're not timid, we're not needing to be fixed. We are an introvert, and that is our superpower. Introverted AFF. Absolutely fabulous and feisty. And I enjoy doing these Spotlight Achiever interviews because I've been able to meet some amazing people who are doing great work in all arenas. And Selina is amazing. So here's some things about her. She is the DisruptHer coach. She empowers women and entrepreneurs to break free from patterns that are keeping them stuck. With over 40 years experience, that's a lot. And so you know it's going to be some good stuff of experience in business continuity, project management, and coaching. She helps her clients shatter beliefs that keep them stuck, basically, helps them claim their time and live a life of purpose. Wow, that right there is good. She's raw, she's no fluff. At the same time, she's nurturing, and I think that's really important and really helps to empower women. She's the founder and chief empowerment officer of DisruptHer Coaching, and she blends tough love with personal support through her program, Nurturing You Didn't Know You Needed framework. Selina, I've read your bio. Share with my listeners things that are outside of your bio.
Let me see. I don't know what was in there. Let me see. Well, I love deep conversation and transformational conversations. I'm a coach at heart, as the bio said, it's been 40 years. And originally, I didn't even know that's what it was. I'm a Pisces and I'm curious by nature. And I thought it was being a little bit of being nosy, but I am interested in humans, the human condition, their experiences. I love bringing together conversation around food. What's not in there is I'm also a restaurateur and food entrepreneur.
Oh,
So
wow.
space around that. And yeah, and in this journey that I've been on, I've learned that maintaining the status quo is what gets us to where we are now. So to break free,
Mm.
we got to stop doing the status quo. So that's the name of the game. Let me just see if I missed anything because I forget stuff sometimes. Oh, here's what I'm talking about too. What else you might want to know? I'm a mother. My son is Richard. I'm Richard's mama. For a long time, my name was Richard's mom.
I get that.
Uh,
I understand that. Understand that.
I am a certified business coach as well as holistic life coach and mindset. Those are my specialties, mindset, business, and life coaching. I'm also the creator of a gourmet sauce called Midwest Gourmet Sauce. I have a
Nice.
second business on the restaurant, food and beverage side. It's called Midwest Way. And the sauce is all organic, everything sauce, because we put that ish on everything. You could use any and everything. And I just love connection. I love connecting with people. It's just something that naturally happens and occurs. And what ends up happening is when I say hi to people, they tell me things that they don't normally tell other people.
I know. I know. I absolutely understand that. It's like, did you? Okay, I'm here, right? I'm here.
Yeah,
Obviously what
absolutely.
you needed in the moment, and
Absolutely.
and I'm
That's
here,
service.
right? Like they pick up that we're trustworthy, right? They pick that up that we can be trusted. And that's so
I
important
had
in the business that we're in.
numerous people tell me that don't we're just meeting for the first time. So
Yeah.
when I'm not coaching or speaking or growing the business, you can find me skating. I love to golf and I'm a world traveler. That is the most fun. I love having local experiences, experiencing other cultures and how they show up in the world spiritually and all of the things that is my really gives me my freedom. Um, and then I do a lot of personal development myself. So I'm in a number of communities that help serve me. Um, and that's how we met, actually.
Yes.
We're in the
Yes.
community together. And so that was so much fun. Yeah, and that's me. It's a lot of stuff on this page that I don't want to read.
Okay. Well, let's get to some meat, some juicy
Yeah,
stuff. And I'm gonna set up my audience a little bit because
yeah.
I'm known I don't say a whole lot of swear words on air, right? I think one of the things that 2020 gave me is I started using swear words more, but I really try to, temper it. And the acronym that really holds everything together that I admire about Selena, it's an acronym for a word. She's gonna tell you the word in a minute. And so in how can I say this? And permission, she said, "Can I say that word?" I was like, "Yeah, I normally don't, but I understand the context that you're using it in, and I will do things as they benefit my audience." And so, tell me about how you help your clients.
So what I like to say is I help you, if you're out there, I help you get your shit together so you can live your own life. And SHIT is the acronym for self-love, and I call it self-love care, healing, identity, and time freedom. So I help you in those areas. Is for the woman who has not lived her own life. You've been showing up for everyone else, the kids, the husband, you're the responsible one. Maybe you're the oldest in the family, so things fall on you. And you've never lived your own life. You're living it for everyone else except for you. But I know that you have these missions, dreams, goals, desires. So I serve you. I serve that woman. I have been her,
Yeah.
and we are all a work in progress.
Yes, we are. And that really leads me into something that we talked about in the past as
Mhm.
and really how we connected because we were talking about a lot of times introverts are very highly empathetic. Like we have a very high level of empathy as we're able to pick up energy and we're able to read room.
Right.
And sometimes that gets us in trouble in personal relationships or in setting boundaries with people who don't have our best interests at heart. And, what are some things that you could share with someone? What are your thoughts on this? And what are some things you could share, a couple of tips for the listeners that are like that, like us in that regard?
Well, and this is the buzzword is boundaries, right?
Hmm.
So this is really about self-love care, the foundation of it, right? Loving
Okay.
yourself first. It makes you more powerful, more fulfilled, and more aligned. Not everyone is used to that, especially the woman that I'm called to serve. So the first thing would be is to ask yourself why you're doing it. Why are you showing up in a way before you take some type of action that is it for you? Are you doing it out of obligation? Like
Okay.
really kind of pause before you say yes to anything.
Okay.
Because the default would be no. No helps you get your needs met. It is, some people see it as a boundary, but I see boundaries as a way to meet your needs
Mhm.
versus the B word. This is
Mhm.
how I'm going to get my needs met. So the default for any assignment that you're given or asked to do or before you volunteer is this serving me? How is this going to serve me? Is it going to meet my needs? Because if you feel the urge to say no, but you say yes anyway, the answer is no.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I asked permission for one cuss word, but I got one more. When you're considering, right, this question, this
Yes.
this one is this is not that bad. This
Okay.
one is this not a hell yes,
Mhm.
like for you and serving you, then it's a
Mhm.
hell no,
Mhm. I
right?
totally relate to that. I love what you said about if you already know the answer is no, and we can feel it. We can feel it in our body. If you're really paying attention, you can feel that resistance and you're leaning back away from it. That's just energetically. But you go in and say yes anyway, you've done yourself a disservice. And what you said about no and really saying no does help you get your shit together. Like,
It does a number of things for you. It helps you use your voice. It helps you take your power back because
mm-hmm,
you've given it up and probably don't even realize it. You've stifled your voice. You're not using your voice because you're saying yes to everything. That's why you're overworked. That's why you're overwhelmed. That's why you're exhausted.
mm-hmm,
All of the things. So
mm-hmm.
no serves you. I do a practice with my clients um, in our community, and that is you have to say no once a day
I
because
like
it's a
that.
muscle that you got to build,
I
right?
like
Because
that.
you've been saying yes for so many things
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And just say no. No is a complete sentence,
Yes. Yes, it is.
right? It's N-O period. And it doesn't require explanation. You may feel some kind of way like you need to explain, but you do not. No is a no. And if you feeling really good about it, say hell no.
Now, do you feel like it's in your experience, do you feel like it's a gradual giving away of power? Because I know that's been my experience. Like I don't always give it away, or in the past I haven't given it away in one bucket on a silver platter saying, "Here's my power." But over time, it's been a little incremental. Give some away, a little bit more away, a little bit more away. What are your thoughts on that?
It depends on the individual and the circumstance, because some of that is cultural,
Okay.
it's societal, especially as women. We are taught who we are before we know who we are, how we're
Yeah.
supposed to show up in the world and the things that are supposed to happen because we are a female.
Right.
There's just this expectation. And if you aren't taught to express yourself and your individualism and all of those things, you lose your essence extremely quickly. And that is a core thing that I help women with is discover their essence, because some may have
Nice.
never even known what that looks like, right? So
Nice.
it's truly who your creator designed you to be and get back to her. And so that's where the time is spent, right? Like you said, it's gradual that things happen, that you're giving your power away. And then you get to a point, maybe something severe happened in your life that caused you to change directions
Hmm.
to send you in the direction of where you're supposed to go. And now you're releasing those layers that have
Nice.
piled up, right? And now you're trying to shed them, and you could do that in a safe space with me.
You alluded to your experience.
Mhm.
Share with the listeners a little bit about you in terms of what key moments led you to where you are now.
Um, there's so many. The biggest, I would say, that led me to where I am right now, I was in a marriage, a narcissistic marriage,
Mhm.
and busy giving, giving, giving,
Mhm.
like we talk about, right?
Mhm.
And in that marriage, there was a lot of giving as well as taking. As much as I was giving, they were willing to take. I was running a business, working a full-time job, like all of the things, showing up for everyone. And I became disconnected from myself because what I was doing, I was playing chess in the marriage to keep things from happening. And it was slowly compromising the things and values that I believe in. So then my spirit just stopped talking to me.
Mm.
I was totally disconnected. I was numb. I didn't know who I was.
Mm.
And till it got to the point where I became a full-time caregiver, like all of the things, and it was just stretching me to the point of breaking.
Wow. Wow.
And something had to give. Yeah. And so what led to it, once the decision was made that this is done, I can't go any further, and they finally moved out, I started reflecting on how did I get here? Like, what's going on with me that I ended up here? I had to go inward. I created a prayer room. Some days it was the war room.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
and I would just sit in there because now remember I said my spirit had stopped talking to me because I kept going against it.
Hmm.
That is design. Some people call it the voice of God when you hear that small little voice that doesn't compete with anything else. Some call it intuition because you instantly know certain things, especially uh feminine energy. And I would go against that because I was playing that chess, right?
Hmm.
And so I just sat in that space to just hear again, hear the voice talk to me. I was yearning for that. And so and I would be praying. I'd have affirmations all over the walls, like everything, just so that I could kind of remember. I couldn't remember my dreams. I couldn't remember my
Wow.
desires. I was totally numb. I felt like I couldn't even pray for myself. When they first finally moved out, I called my spiritual mother to pray with me.
Mm.
I just needed to hear prayer, like
Mm.
warring in the spirit. And what it led me to was my first life coach. I
Yeah.
was like, I need me, somebody that shows up the way that I show up.
Yes, yes, yes.
I found this little feisty girl. It was feminine success school because that's what I felt was lost, right? My feminine, my essence. I knew something was missing, and it really helped me. And so it dawned on me that this is a profession. Coaching is a profession. I never knew that in all my days. And I said, I've been doing this for free for a long time. I had no idea. But that's part of what happens too, I believe. The things that come naturally to us, we don't necessarily believe that our gifts will make room for us.
True,
They
true.
totally do. and it's life-changing. It's fulfilling for me. But it led me on the journey as I was pursuing being coached to get my life together. I also got certified in her program as a holistic life coach. And this was happening during the pandemic. So it was amazing because we were learning about herbs and all the things. And I never
Yes.
got
Yes,
yeah.
that is amazing. What are three concepts that you would like to leave our audience with and to help them either on mindset or well-being or uh, okay, we're women integrating multiple demands on our life. I don't call it life balance, okay? I don't because there is no balance.
I use the word harmony, right? Because
You
you got
use
to figure
harmony and I use integration. Separating them does not work. Okay. For all my listeners out there who are looking for that epitome throne
agree.
of life, work life balance, it doesn't exist. You find your way through working with a coach. Hey, we are coaches. Coaches have coaches, which we both do.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs a coach, my opinion. Now, it doesn't have to be me. It can be Selena. I don't care. Get a good one. Okay. Get somebody that knows what they're talking about. But
Right.
it's a whole integration that has to happen. So tell us three things that you really think are impactful or powerful that you would like to share with them.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the first one where I said your no, using your no, right? Because
Excellent.
you first. So it always starts with checking in with yourself to ensure that you have what you need. Any pouring and giving needs to be out of your overflow. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
biblically,
Yes.
I believe that there's been some poor teaching on what that really needs to look like, especially for women, that it's around self-sacrificing, and it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we overgive and all of the things, and it's okay. You're not selfish, any of that, if you take care of yourself, because this is what I learned in all of the experiences in my life. We are each responsible for our own happiness. And I like to call it minding your own business.
Yes.
Your business is you, the business of you. And if I'm responsible for my happiness and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with regards to the business of me, then you would be doing what you're supposed to do
Yeah.
in the business of you. And everyone would get what they need, because if you continue to do the things outside, expected outside of you for your needs and what you need, there is a deficit. Like I said, with women, they're taught who they are before they know. And then we're putting it in someone else's hands to understand our needs, our desires, our hopes, and our dreams, which we are all responsible for ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with
So
that.
that would be the first. That's self-love, care, and really checking in with yourself. And am I doing this out of obligation? How would this serve me? Is this going to put me at a deficit? Then it's a hell no. That would be the first.
Okay. What's the
And then
second?
the next is around time freedom. It's about choices and not a packed calendar. Do
Oh,
not be
wow.
trying to fit in your calendar, right? Leave room for empty space for you to just be. It's okay if you have the little white box on the calendar and it ain't nothing on there. And if you can't help yourself, put on there journal, color in my coloring book, think
I like
time,
that. Mm-hmm.
put on there whatever it looks like for you. Because sometimes it's not always just taking a bath or mani-pedi or whatever. It's just time to just be. Because when you have that white space of time with nothing in it, it helps you get to be your best you.
Yes, it does.
Unwind, not feeling pressure like you got to be anywhere. And that's a practice too. So you're going to practice it, but I want you to practice leaving space on your calendar for you.
That is
30 minutes.
absolutely. I love what you said about schedule it, right? If you're having a hard time leaving space on the calendar because it's white space, schedule it. Call it your me time. Call it minding your business time. Call it
Yeah.
minding me. Whatever it is, and whatever you whatever you do, it's about you in that time. That's great. You have another one for our guests?
One more. It is healing. It is an everyday choice. It is not a destination, right? You don't have to be fully healed to create the life you want. The
Say it
work is in
again.
showing
Say that one again. Say that one again. Say it again. Say it loud for the people in the back.
the people in the back. You do not have to be fully healed to create the life you want. The work is in showing up for yourself every single day, building the capacity to receive, and taking aligned action, even when it feels scary. We call it courage over confidence, right? If you do the courageous thing for yourself, your confidence will catch up.
Yes.
So again, it all goes back to the no, using your power. It helps you get in a space to hold and have the capacity for the things that you desire. Those things that you have gone through is building your resistance so they get less scary. Because it's like, oh, I've seen this before. I know
Mm-hmm.
what this looks like. I got this. Get your spirit team, your God team, whatever that looks like, whatever you call it, your squad. Borrow somebody else's courage if you don't have enough. And by all means necessary, you can always reach out to me and I will help you get your shit together.
Excellent. Love it. Love it. Great segue, because I was getting ready to ask you, what's the best way for the listeners to contact or connect with you?
The best way is through my YouTube channel. It's
Okay.
called DisruptHer Coaching Conversations. All of the deets are out there. So if you go there, you'll get all the other links. I'm also on Instagram as DisruptHer Coach, DisruptHer. Yes. And that's really the best way. I have
Okay.
content out there for you. Ask questions, comment, subscribe.
And I will
All of
be putting the information to connect with Selina in the show notes. So make sure go to her page. She has excellent guests that are there and featured, and make sure you subscribe as well. And I did have an opportunity to be one of her guests, and I also looked at some of the other powerhouse coaches and guests that she brings on, and she has that heart to serve and to position you so that you have what you need. You just have to show up. You have to be willing to disrupt your life and your status quo to step into who you're called to be. Thank you so much, Selina, for being my guest today. I am thrilled. Glad we connected the way we did. And thank you for sharing. Sometimes it's the hard topics are the ones that don't always get talked about. And I think we talked and touched on some of those today. Thank you for being willing to share that space and your story. I appreciate that. So
Thank you for the space and allowing me to use a couple of cuss words. I went through a period where I did not curse when I rededicated my life to Christ. And then I started to realize, I was like, Lord, you already know I'm cussing in my head.
I'll finish with this. Okay. I love Jesus and I cuss a little. Okay. So don't
Little.
judge me. If you're going to judge me because of that, if you're going to judge her because of that, you're not our people. Because one of the things that in this season of life, we're more about authenticity, not being degrading, not being hypey, but being real. And that is one of the things that we're about. So let us know your thoughts and what you're able to take away from this episode. Drop those in the comments. Go to her page. Make sure you subscribe. Watch some episodes and leave her some feedback. That's it for this episode of the Quiet Impact Podcast. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Let me know any insights that you had from this episode. I would love to hear your takeaways. Remember to head to my website, grab a copy of the Success Pillars for Quiet Achievers. It's a resource I created for you. And join us next week. Thank you for watching, listening, and subscribing. See you next time.